Receivers. Well, this is a fun group to talk about, and I love that we're going to end on quarterbacks too. It's almost like I did that.
Like we planned it out, yeah.
So when you called me, again, I mentioned this earlier, you called me about 10 minutes before we started recording. You're like, hey, I want to go through each group with the lens on, is this a national championship group? So that's how I pose this one. Does the Irish receiver group have championship potential? I mean, I don't think you can go into the season saying yes. This is a championship group. That's why I put potential. And this is have. That is not good verbiage by. It's not good verbiage by.
No, it's fine. I'll buy you some time.
Yeah, there you go. So
does this group have championship potential? Are we talking this year? The answer is probably no, not this year. I mean, they're so young.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of Jaden Thomas, nobody else has really done anything. I mean, obviously Rico Flores, Greathouse are true freshmen. Infamously, Tobias has one catch.
Yeah.
Goolsby, I think, and this is off the top of my head, Goolsby's got 19 catches in 2 years or something like that. 21 catches. So, yeah, you can't.
Has a career 13.
Okay. So,
yeah,
this year the answer is I mean, who objectively speaking, everybody listening, drop a shitty comment regardless. But if you're looking at it on paper, it's sure, there's talent in the room, but they are very young. And poor Sam Hartman, I mean, it's his job to fix all of these shortcomings, right? I mean, it's gonna hopefully, yeah. So it's wild, I don't even know if Goolsby's going to start anymore. And I've said it for a couple years, going back to his high school film. The guy never seemed like he loved football. Deion Goolsby's the perfect kid that's going to do the 40 for 40 thing. I bet you Deion Goolsby's tremendously successful outside of football when football's done, but I just don't see him play with the fire, with the level of compete that's needed. And I saw it going back to high school. And people can talk about, oh, well, he hasn't, you can't coach. You either have compete in your DNA or you don't. And if he's a junior and with a young wide receiver room around him, it's a chance for him to elevate himself into leadership kind of status. And it doesn't seem like he's doing it. What's also interesting about this group is all offseason folks are like, man, we've got some dudes. This wide receiver room's so talented. And I'm like, yeah. I believe you. But, they really haven't done anything. And now it seems like halfway through camp, that narrative's kind of changing, that they're not showing their full potential. And then the argument against that is, well, they're going up against the best corners in the country. Sure. Somebody in that group, Mike, has got to make contested catches.
Who do you like for that?
Flores and Greathouse, because you saw it. And if I could just, Goolsby on film was a run underneath it catch guy. Just throw it up there. I'm going to run underneath it. That's entirely different than putting your foot in the ground and going up and out jumping somebody, out muscling somebody for a ball. With both Greathouse and Flores, you saw it on their tape, that compete, that willingness and want to come down with the ball. The problem is that neither one of them are going to take the top off of a defense.
Yeah.
Neither
is Jaden Thomas.
Neither is Jaden Thomas. And are they going to slide Jaden Thomas back outside, which is what they did early in his career before he kind of found that home? We talked about it, that kind of he's almost like a tight end-ish. They used to kind of attach him in run formations. So there's a lot of unknowns, man. I mean, absolutely, there's a high ceiling there, but like anything else, you got to kind of show me. And then the only other note, we got to talk about Tyree.
Yeah, let's do.
I always said that I thought Tyree was going to be kind of a gadget guy, move him out, put him in, break the huddle. He's at tailback, move him out. Some fat ass like me's got to, play coverage against him. But now they're making it sound he's your starting slot receiver.
Yep.
I'll be shocked. I still don't. I don't believe it.
I mean,
You
they
know, you talk
are.
about a guy that's going to have small hands. If he catches like seam passes, if he's playing like if he's running the full route tree, I'm happy to be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong, but I'll be shocked if he's running the full route tree. But people seem to be like he's the bright spot in the room right now, which is a little worrying. But
Yeah, I do feel like he's more of 15 and in. I don't see him running 25-yard seams down the field, you know, and Sam Hartman's got to fit a ball into 5'9.5" Chris Tyree. I don't see that.
I could see bubbles and such like that. I mean,
yeah, bubbles outs.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think 15 and in for Tyree.
It's so funny. I said in my notes, I said, I bet he makes less than 10 catches more than 12 yards downfield. So you're saying 15, I'm saying 12. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Tobias to me, he's got to grow up. He's still a little goofy to me. Like, you got to grow up, dude. I mean,
why are you saying he's goofy?
I just think he's a little goofy. It's just me. It's
body language?
You know what that is, Mike? It's 30 years of being around football. It's just, I think he's a little goofy.
Well, I'm asking you how you came to that conclusion about Meriwether.
Because I've seen him go back to the bowl game. I saw him like drop passes. Like, he had a drop pass. He was wide open and just dropped it. He came out as a true freshman and said that, like, you know, he saw the crowd and he like lost his train of thought. He forgot what he was supposed to do. So he's physically talented enough to like go play, but like he couldn't handle it. And we all love the transparency and the authenticity of him sharing that story, but you goofy. Jaden Greathouse ain't going out there being, oh my God, there's people in the stands. Jaden Greathouse isn't going to do that. And if he does do it, he's never going to cop to it. Same with Rico Flores. That's why I say he's a little goofy. And he's a West Coast kid. He's a Washington kid. So when you get into like their hard wiring, he's going to be a little bit more chill than a Texas kid. And I think he's got all the potential in the world, but it's like, it's time to kind of grow up, man. Yeah. You know, he's kind of been anointed, unjustly so or rightfully so. I don't know, but people want to see him play.
Well, as we go through the receivers, Goolsby, I mean, some of these guys are deep threats in the sense of the deep balls, but not take the top off the defense, right?
Goolsby is a Mike Singer clone. He's a possession guy.
No, I'm more Matt Salerno, which
we've heard great things about Salerno.
Great house, Flores, all really nice players, but Meriwether is, with the size and speed, is the only one who's like, all right, go run the 9 route and just run past the guy. He's the only one. So I posted a clip on social media today where I asked Tim, Hartman's your most important player on the team. Who's second? He said Estime. A lot of fans are saying Meriwether just based on the impact. If he does hit, it's a huge bump for this team. Because
why?
You can't have too many of the same types of receivers. You need this kind of guy.
Sure.
So what's up?
I mean, Meriwether was highly recruited, right?
Yeah, sure.
But the amount of, and I'm using the term pressure, the amount of pressure on him, you know what I mean? It's like Notre Dame fans are treating him like Arch Manning or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's just a high 4-star receiver, and people are putting the weight of the world on this kid's shoulders. And I wonder why. I'm on record. I'll say it again. I think Braylon James has got a shot to be that guy. Braylon James plays the game wide open. He's like, you know, those SEC, those Alabama receivers that can catch a ball and just go. Go back and watch his high school film. There's something about him to me. I love this. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. That's plenty big, folks. I mean, everybody gets enamored with 6'4", 6'5" wide receivers. You're 6'2", and you can time your jump, put your foot in the ground, and go up. You're plenty tall. Yeah. So don't rule Braylon James out either.
The sense just seems like he's a little bit raw right now. That's what we said about him months ago. And still, he might. I mean, maybe in the season, kind of clicks for him. But I think right now he might be just a little ways away. Folks, if you're watching live with us, we've got a huge group. Please hit the thumbs up on this video. I don't know how many likes we're at now. Maybe someone can tell me in the chat. I'm not able to see. Let me know how many likes we have live.
Yeah, sorry, we're not. I'm not good at the chats. I just get so wound up, dude. I start sweating literally half the time I'm talking here with this
What do you?
stuff.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like, feedback from the chats. My last note on the receiver
Yeah.
group,
Go ahead.
the roles that they're slotted in. So I guess you can't pull that up, but off the top of my head, they've got Tyree in the slot backed up by Greathouse, right? And to the field, you have Tobias backed up by Flores. And the boundary was Colsey, and who else am I forgetting?
I'm sorry. Did you say Jaden Thomas?
No, I
Thomas.
didn't.
Yeah, Horka just texted me Thomas.
Okay.
There you go.
So let's talk about that. So I'm going to write that out. So field, we've got Tobias, and we have Rico Flores. Slot, yep. You've got Tyree.
Greathouse.
And you've got Jaden. Not a lot of depth when you write it out. Not a lot of depth. And then boundary, we're going Colsey and Thomas. So actually, we're going to go Thomas and Colsey.
Thomas, right? Colsey. And then, Matt Salerno, I'm not sure where he works out specifically. Hold on. Horka just sent me something I could pop up on the screen, actually. I think he...
Look at Horka. Tyler
Horka's just the man. Okay. So, slot, Tyree, Greathouse, Salerno, field, Meriwether, Flores, boundary, Jaden Thomas, Dion Colsey, Braylon James. So, there you go.
Scroll up so I can see all three. Go up past. Okay. Yeah, so... Just I'm no wide receiver guru, but I think you could put Greathouse in the boundary as opposed to the slot.
I agree.
I think you could put Flores in the slot.
Yep.
Just because that bigger body, again, that Mike Singer clone, right? You need that big body in the boundary, and can't you just see Greathouse going up and competing for balls on third down in the boundary? I could see Rico. Rico runs great routes, getting open out of the slot position. So maybe I might flip those two over. Jaden, I think you move him around all over the place. He's not a deep ball guy. And field, it's like I'd put Tobias and I would put Braylon James out there, just speed.
I don't like Rico at the field. I like Rico more in the slot.
So why not? As a wide receiver, why not? I agree, but why not?
Well, Rico at 6 foot, 200 pounds, not the tallest guy. And also he's not like a 50-50 ball guy. He's more of a natural route runner receiver. Mm-hmm. He's the technician. So I like my technicians in the slot.
Okay.
But also he can work to the field, but I just prefer that in the slot. So, Horka, if you're still watching, text me if there's we just got our crack staff guy. If there's cross training, I'd be curious if in camp Greathouse is working out at multiple spots, if he is working outside as well, and same with Flores.
I think you assume as much, right? Yeah. Again, this is just some of the stuff is generic in terms of positional, kind of the way it's laid out. But that's the way I see it kind of shaking out. People love to talk numbers. So-and-so is going to have 30 catches for 672 yards. It's I can't really get into that.
We'll leave that for Tim.
Yeah. So it's an unknown. I'll be shocked if Tyree actually runs downfield routes because he's got small hands, and he's more of a low to the earth, again, in and out, Wes Welker type guy to me. I don't see him going up and getting a ball contested and, against the safety or something like that. Or, he's going to make a contested catch, running a banana route against a linebacker or something like that. So it'll be interesting as far as a letter grade, Mike, just to keep it moving.
Yeah.
Am I going to get threats if I say C? Are people going to lose their minds? It can't be a top 25 unit. It can't be. If that's our criteria.
I think it's I'd say B- for the potential.
Okay.
So B- with a lot of promise.
If they can figure out a way to get Braylon James on the field, I'll give it a higher B, but yeah, let's go B-, just because of we haven't seen it.